This is incredible.
So the print was found here. We kind of didn't know what it was.
I am so honored to be seeing this.
It can't possibly be a big footprint.
My name is Dr. Lance Hightower. I investigate Sasquatch and Dogmen. I've come to the UK to investigate strange phenomena, including some incredible Bigfoot sightings. Well, that's intriguing. Are they really there? While on my journey, you'll be seeing Britain through my eyes, with its traditions, history, this is so cool here, and strange ways. To join me on my journey, like and subscribe. I'm in Somerset, staying at this beautiful mid-15th century Blackmore Manor. There's a young man I want to speak with that found something very, very intriguing, and I can't wait to speak with him. Now, that young man I'm on my way to meet is Daniel Barnett. You may have come across his name. He is becoming a well-known personality in the cryptid community. A documentary following him was released back in 2025. You may have seen it. Well, his journey began 3 or 4 years ago, right here in the woods of Somerset, and he's agreed to meet me. Daniel, so tell me, where are we going?
We are going to a location where myself and my grandmother stumbled upon an 18-inch footprint / indentation.
Can you take me there?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, fantastic. This is so amazing.
It's awesome, isn't it? So Lance, this is a beautiful spot to see the Quantock Hills in Somerset.
Whoa, this is so beautiful. I see there's homes here and there. Are those farms?
Yes, yeah, they are farms all spread across the hills.
So I see some sheep, I think, and other livestock. So if there's livestock, and I'm sure there's other indigenous wildlife in the area.
There are indeed.
And with the rolling hills and the low ravines, I'm sure you have water. This would be an ideal place for just about anything to be out here.
Absolutely, and say running along the bottom of this forest is a stream that then goes into a river.
Interesting.
And right over there, a couple of years ago, there was a Bigfoot sighting on that hill.
Really?
Yep. And the forest changes from where we just were. And we are getting very, very close to the print now.
This is so cool. Wow, okay, I see something here that's really interesting. In Oklahoma, we have a little bit of moss and lichen, but nothing like this.
Wow.
This right here, I'm noticing there must be so much moisture in the environment that you have this beautiful, it feels like carpet, moss right growing in these exposed roots of this tree. This is a first for me. As I'm looking around here, this is not only beautiful, but this is kind of the habitat where I do some investigations too, and I can, anything can hide so easily in this cover. I'm stunned how much undergrowth there is. Are we getting close, Daniel?
We are indeed, and say we are almost there, and just around this tree, we found the print right here.
Now, which way were the toes facing?
So the kind of print was facing this way and the toes were facing this way.
Did you find any prints above this one?
So we, not in this area, but we did find a couple of indentations, not as good as this one, but down the trail.
Daniel, when you found this print, was there anyone with you?
Yes, my grandmother was with me.
What did she think when she saw this?
She looked down first and tapped my shoulder, and we both looked down at the same time. We both said indentation.
Well, that day we were just walking along and I saw what was clear as clear to me as it looked like a huge footprint. And I said, Daniel, who was just in front of me, can you come and look at this? And he came and he looked and he was like, oh, looked at each other, looked at it again, looked at each other, and we were like, but it can't be. It's ridiculous. It can't possibly be a big footprint.
So when you saw this print, what was going through your mind when you looked at this?
Complete shock. Absolute complete shock.
Did you think, oh, that's a Sasquatch, or what was it?
We kind of didn't know what it was. It was a print of some sort. Bigfoot or Sasquatch didn't go through our minds at the time. It was just a big unknown print.
That's what's interesting to hear, is that you weren't thinking Sasquatch.
No.
You just thought, this is large, what's this doing out here? And you didn't instantly go to Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So that's what makes this print very intriguing for me to hear this, where it's located.
Absolutely.
So Jill, what happened next?
Well, after we looked at it and just in awe of it, so Daniel says, well, we have to photograph it, we have to be evidence. We didn't have anything with us that day, so he asked me to put my foot next to it, so we knew how long my foot was. We marked where it was so that we could find it again. We went home, came back again a couple of days later, as soon as we could, with plaster of Paris. He took a cast of it, very carefully carried it back home.
This is a photo of the cast from the 18-inch footprint that we took.
Remarkable. In Oklahoma, the largest one that I've seen is probably about 22, 23.
Wow.
I didn't expect to see something so marked and outlined as an actual footprint. This is incredible.
And you can see the kind of the display.
Yeah, you can see the toes and the display of, to me, it signifies kind of a classic Sasquatch print, really, because what I'm seeing is this nuance of unsymmetrical toes, what appears to be toes, and they're splayed out, and you have all this debris in there. This is quite remarkable.
And then he'd learned from Expedition Bigfoot programs, he'd learned how to take eDNA, which I didn't even know what that was. And he was explaining to me, it's the environmental samples. He knew to take top samples, he knew to scrape and take samples from a little bit lower down, sterile, everything was in gloves and tweezers.
So the print was found here and the eDNA was taken from here.
So explain what eDNA is.
So eDNA is short for environmental DNA.
Environmental DNA. What did you actually extract from the print?
So from the print here, we extracted some of the leaves and the plants that were growing around the print, and then the soil that was in the middle of the print at the time.
See, that's what makes this so special and fascinating, that you actually had the foresight to do that. Not many people will do something like that. And where the print is very interesting, because it's on this ridge. And I know in the States, when I'm doing investigations or hunting, you find a lot of animal trails on the ridges. Not so much in the bottom, with a little bit, but you find it on this ridge. So this makes me wonder, does Sasquatch run these ridges?
After we took the sample, I phoned a couple of people that I knew at the time, and I then emailed every lab in the UK and Europe, and one eventually replied.
And what did the results reveal?
It was sent off to the labs for 6 weeks, and once those 6 weeks were up, I was emailing them every other day, and on the final couple of days they said, we need an extra week of sequencing, which was out of the normal realm. And after that week, they phoned my father and said, we have no idea how your son has done this, but this print, along with human DNA, bird DNA, it is picked up old world monkey and great ape DNA.
Wow, that is really, really fascinating. And this lab they just came out and told you what they found. Was there anything else they said by chance?
No, they just said that this was nothing like they've seen before.
What's fascinating and yet refreshing to hear about that is I've heard certain labs in the States where people have tried to submit samples and they get some resistance. So to hear what you said is very fascinating and very refreshing to hear. I'm excited to hear more about this.
Absolutely. So this is the DNA that we got from the footprint.
Oh, wow.
So you've got all the different samples here, this being the actual footprint. So this is where the old world monkey and grey ape DNA is, right here.
That is absolutely incredible. I have never seen anything like this. This is extremely special and unique, this report. And to show great apes and old world monkeys,
Yeah.
this is so extraordinary, honestly. I am so honored to be seeing this. This is such a rarity. I would have never in a million years ever thought I would see something like this, let alone actually hold this report from a lab showing the eDNA results. To be able to see this and a document that actually shows old world monkeys and apes is extraordinary. I never would have ever thought this would be a document I would actually get to touch. I am so honored to be able to see this, let alone touch this.
It's just amazing. I mean, but this is the UK, and I think most of our thoughts were, well, it just looks like a print. But Daniel's, you have to find out. We have to find out, Nan. We have to find out what this is. It's too big a thing to just walk away from. And that is exactly what he did next.
That's, like I said, I think it's brilliant. I think it's highly intriguing for me to see this from such a young man and have that insight to be able to do that. So that's what excites me, and why I'm so glad to be here.
Yes.
Daniel, it's been an absolute pleasure in meeting you, and I appreciate you meeting me here. I've learned so much, and I wish you all the best in the future.
You too. Amazing.
Take care. I'm really looking forward to getting in here and starting the investigation. The sun is setting. It's starting to look a little creepy. Wish me luck.